Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going straight into some really powerful survival stories.
Yeah, these are from pedestrians and cyclists.
We've got first-hand accounts, news reports, safety guides, all focused on one critical thing: visibility.
And our mission here is pretty clear, isn't it?
Yeah, we want to pull out the key lessons from these experiences.
Pinpoint the takeaways so, you can stay safer out there as a vulnerable road user.
Definitely.
And just a note, this deep dive is brought to you by the Be Safe, Be Seen podcast, sponsored by Reflectos.
That's right, the high-visibility cycling and running gear brand.
Because being seen, well, it's not just a nice to have.
No, it can literally be the difference.
Yeah.
Safety or disaster. I mean, consider this stat.
It's pretty stark.
Around 20% of all traffic deaths in the U.S. Pedestrians and cyclists.
20%. That really shows the risk, doesn't it?
It does. So today, we're looking at what one survivor called the flash of recognition.
That split second a driver actually sees you.
And how vital that moment is.
Well, we found some really compelling stories. Let's maybe start with Kathy cycling.
Good idea. Her story is a strong reminder of something easy to forget.
She was cycling around dusk, thought her small light was okay.
She called it cute, but didn't really do anything. That says a lot.
Then, on an unlit road, a car came up fast behind her.
Didn't see her until the last second. Swerved, honked.
And she ended up in a ditch. Thankfully okay, mostly.
But the lesson, crystal clear. Her words, don't skimp on lights.
And what's striking is how fast she acted on that.
Right. The very next day.
She went out and bought proper Gaussian lights. Good quality stuff.
A bright front one and a rear light that even flashes when she brakes.
That's taking the warning seriously, isn't it? Proactive.
She said the peace of mind is worth every cent.
It really makes you stop and think about your own setup. Are you really equipped for the conditions?
Absolutely. And it's not just individual stories. We found loads of wisdom in online communities, too.
Yeah, like that Reddit thread on cycling safety. Some really practical stuff from people out there doing it every day.
And what stood out was this sort of layered approach many take.
Definitely. Like positive quiet 4548, using flashing lights front and back, plus high-vis clothing.
And not just at night.
Yeah.
Day and night, making it a habit.
Exactly. Then you've got shelf caribou.
The fluorescent Christmas tree.
Yeah, multiple lights, reflective tape, bright clothes.
Even a Varia radar and spoke reflectors. Seems like a lot, but...
But maybe necessary. It's a deliberate effort to be seen from all angles.
And Snikey79 specifically mentioned that Garmin Varia radar.
Credited it with really helping drivers see them from behind. Addresses a common danger zone.
We also heard from Rather Nerdy notice a dramatic difference.
Just by adding light-up armbands for running first.
And then flashing bike lights later, small things making a big impact.
And you slowly but surely 59 brought up helmet lights.
Right, the idea that a third light up high helps with bigger vehicles, trucks, SUVs.
Gets the light closer to the driver's eye level. Makes sense.
These aren't just random choices, are they? They're thought-out strategies.
Yeah, it's about actively making it harder for drivers not to see you. A whole system.
But then there's this twist. Our sources also talked about the visibility paradox.
Ah, yes. This is where it gets, concerning.
Yeah.
And frustrating.
It's the idea that even when you do everything right, you're still in danger.
Exactly. Being visible isn't always enough. Take Rory Meister in Melbourne.
Bike lane, flashing lights.
And a driver just turns right across his path, missed him by inches.
His reaction, called it absurd. The drivers just don't see or cut cyclists off.
And Peter McLean from Bicycle NSW basically said, yeah, close calls. They're almost a certain for cyclists. It's expected.
Which is awful. And Jim Ruppert's story.
Wow.
Endurance coach.
Broad daylight, bike lane, bright clothes, bike lights on. The works.
And a driver pulls right in front of him. Then has the nerve to say Rutberg was invisible.
Before just driving off. Rutberg's response hits hard. I am not invisible. You're just not looking for me.
That really shifts the blame, doesn't it?
It does. Then there's Sam in Edinburgh. Bright yellow helmet, bright coat, multiple lights.
And nearly gets hit by a van. Why?
Driver was clearly on their phone. Sam said, there's no way he couldn't see me.
So visibility wasn't the issue there. Attention was.
Precisely. And Jonathan's experience? Clear day, bright clothes, flashing rear light visible for a quarter mile.
And a BMW still passes dangerously close at a roundabout.
And the police response wasn't helpful, apparently. Felt like nothing would happen unless he was actually hit.
That's disheartening. Then Evan Jensen, the runner.
He was doing the recommended thing, running against traffic at night.
And please got hit by a truck's side mirror. Even doing it right wasn't enough in that case.
Became a huge turning point for him. Now he's a big advocate for loads of visibility gear.
Which kind of brings us to Nick Hubble, the blogger.
Yeah, his conclusion was pretty blunt. Be safe, be seen is often nonsense.
His point, echoed by others like Flying Kev on Reddit, who also has max visibility and close calls,
Is that drivers often just aren't looking. Or maybe worse, they don't care.
it's a really tough thing to hear.
And it connects to this phenomenon, looked but failed to see, LBFTS.
Where drivers technically look, but their brain just doesn't register the cyclist or pedestrian.
It happens. And the sheer number of these near-miss stories, the psychological toll must be immense.
For sure. It's not just physical risk, it's anxiety, feeling ignored.
So, okay, given all that, what are the practical takeaways? What can we learn from these survivors?
Well, it really seems like that layered approach is key.
Absolutely. The advice consistently points to combining three things: reflective gear, active lighting, and bright clothing.
Reflective stuff first. Great for catching headlights.
Especially on moving parts, ankles, knees. That movement grabs attention.
One cyclist called reflective leg bands an easy win. Cheap and effective.
Then active lighting, LEDs. Crucial day and night.
For runners, headlamps are vital. See and be seen.
And for cyclists, bright front and rear lights. Flashing modes seem to be preferred.
Like Kathy Cycling's brake sensing light. That's next level active lighting.
And third, bright or fluorescent clothing. That's mainly for daytime.
Creating contrast, like Sam's yellow gear, helping you stand out.
And where you put the stuff matters too. Strategic placement. Biomotion.
Covering multiple areas, especially moving joints, helps drivers recognize you as a person faster.
Helmet lights fit here too, for that higher visibility point.
But it's not just gear, is it? It's behavior too.
Just as critical, top of the list seems to be a defensive mindset.
Assume drivers haven't seen you. Always have an exit strategy, as one source said.
For runners, facing traffic like Evan Jensen did, making eye contact when possible.
Being predictable, following the rules of the road.
And situational awareness, limiting distractions like headphones. Evan Jensen heard the truck coming, which might have helped.
Good point. And just basic preparedness. Phone, ID, telling someone your route. Simple stuff.
Evan Jensen, after his accident, really went all in on gear recommendations.
Reflective vests, laces, headbands, belts.
Quality headlamps, lighted vests like the Knox Gear Tracer, flashers, spare batteries.
And Boring Bob 84 had a tech focus. Bright lights, yeah, but also...
Helmet, camera, GPS tracker, rearview mirror, that Garmin Varia radar again.
So it's clear, right? No magic bullet. But combining these things...
Definitely ups your chances of being seen and avoiding disaster. The stories are powerful lessons.
We have to circle back to that paradox, even with all this effort.
You're still at risk. Driver inattention is huge, like Sam's experience with the driver on the phone.
And Nick Hubble's point bears repeating. Is it that they can't see, or that they aren't looking, or don't care?
It's a crucial question. It shows personal visibility efforts are vital, but they exist in a bigger system.
Driver behavior, road design, they matter just as much.
So the main message, being seen, is absolutely crucial, foundational.
But it's not a guarantee. It needs to be a shared responsibility.
Drivers actively looking, protecting vulnerable users.
And walkers, runners, cyclists, prioritizing visibility with that layered approach.
The resilience of these survivors sharing their stories, it's incredible.
It really is. They offer lessons that can genuinely help keep others safe.
Reinforces that multifaceted approach, gear and smart behavior.
And it leaves us with that final thought, doesn't it? Beyond what we can do individually.
What bigger changes are needed? Infrastructure, education, enforcement.
How do we make roads truly safer for everyone, especially the most vulnerable? Something to keep thinking about.
Definitely. And just a final reminder, this deep dive was brought to you by the Be Safe, Be Seen podcast, sponsored by Reflectos, the high-visibility cycling and running gear brand.